Play. Alright, in the bottom left-hand side, it is going to be our Red Zerg play. No longer part of Dragon KZ Gaming, now teamless. It is Dark, so that's the DKZ in his name. Sure that will disappear at some point. As in the top right, our Blue Protoss player. This is herO. Here for game number 1 of this best of 3. Whack of it, Inu cam on. Still is observing. He'll probably intro the players himself in a moment, but then he'll be off into this, and excited to see what Dark and herO are going to bring to the stage. As you know fine well that these guys are very good against one another, absolutely capable of taking each other down. It should be a real banger of a matchup, so looking forward to seeing how this is going to pan out. Like I say, these guys played each other pretty much once per week on average for the last year and a bit, so they continue to just play so much against one another. It is just because they're seeing success in events like this one, the ESL Open Cup Korea, the KSL as well, just all of these weekly Korean-based competitions really having a bit of an impact. So yeah, I mean, it's been that way for a little while. We always were talking about how much these guys played against one another. It's just going to be another example of exactly that. Okay, coming up, Nexus goes down as we got ourselves settled here for a couple of moments. Just going to be seeing our pylon and everything coming up for the moment. A little bit of everything on the go. Again, Chronoburst on the Adept Cybercore coming through. I'm just going to be having ourselves a Ling Speed coming up, a couple Queens and a few Lings coming through as well. And our Robo coming up for a couple moments, getting everything set here. Stalker flying away, Overlord taking some shots, some hits coming through. I'm just going to be seeing ourselves the Overlord getting back to the high ground for a couple of moments, hiding away. Obviously, Robo Facility coming up from here then, so as we see that Robo Facility come by, we'll have ourselves some options on the side of the Protoss. Let's see what it wants to do. Immediately into that Prism. He is going to drop the Robo Bay down. herO definitely opening. I mean, obviously, we expect Stargate 9 times out of 10 PvZ. Dark, meanwhile, has this gold base set up, so we're going to have Colossus/Disruptor drops versus the gold base on the other side. It's just kind of wild all around to get this game underway in the first few minutes. Yo, Rodin18, thank you so much for the 11-month resub. Thanks for the great StarCraft. Thank you so much for subscribing and supporting it. Thank you very much for the 11. Appreciate it. You have a couple Queens coming around, a drone comes over, it's going to build up a spore on the back, that's Stalker. Continues to nibble at the Overlord for a little bit, so again a bit more damage being dealt right there. The Robo Bay about to finish up, the Robo popping the Observer out. Just going to be seeing now the Prism speed is coming through as well, so again, a little bit of everything being established. So it is going to be those Disruptor drops to start us off, try and get this underway. And Prism shoots away just a little bit. We're going to be having ourselves the Disruptor coming up. Prism speed still coming out. And again, you got to do something because you want to make sure that this gold base doesn't get to go too far without being checked upon, right? If that gold base gets too much done, you're already asking to be in some trouble. So Yeah, kind of need to figure that one out as the few adepts coming over and just going to sit tight against the few Zerglings. Obviously, the Prism starts to move out onto the map now. So away that goes. Off on a journey. That coming up. The Overlords are still coming through. For the moment as Twilight Council continues to get established here. So again, a little bit of a build-up just across the board. Disrupt shots will go for, well, 7 drones. Not bad at all, actually. That is not a bad start. Can't complain about that, especially on the gold base, because then it's going to be the double whammy of, well, now the gold base drones aren't mining either, right? So that's also a little bit of a bonus to you. Definitely helps. I'm going to get a queen as well, so again, the damage adds up, and that's exactly what herO wants, is he's now transitioning through into Blink. And not only Blink, but also transitioning through into that +1 attack upgrade as well, right? So, and Colossi. So we're really getting a little bit of everything in his army, really just powering through. And so herO's transition looks good, it looks smooth, and he's done enough so far, I think, to have justified again the investment made on this, which is not, you know, a guarantee in any stretch of the imagination when you play like this. This time he only gets one of the disruptor balls to clip the queen. As again, Roaches and Lings still continuing up. That melee upgrade continues by also. Roaches and Lings split apart just slightly. As a couple disruptors drop down again, they will also be looking for opportunity here, as we do see a catch on the other side of the map. herO Stalker is going to get absolutely crushed. These Roaches just show up, and, well, the Colossus went down very quickly there from herO, so this is very much so a case of, well, you know what? If you're going to go and do all this fancy harassment, you better actually have a proper army set up back at home. And did he? Not enough of one, that's for sure, so unfortunately no success here for herO. Is now the only concern is obviously if those disruptors hit a big chunk of these Roaches, it will slow down this attack, and we do have more disruptors on the way. So, in that regard, it may be difficult for Dog to push in to end this, but obviously, already knocking down herO to 2 bases is already a pretty darn large positive. So that's already got to feel pretty darn good. Again, a couple of disruptor shots continue by. Seeing those Roaches continue to go after said disruptors, so looking to, again, really keep adding up on that damage. Disruptor shots here, flying absolutely everywhere as Dog just continues to run into the natural. He had to do a lot of dodging, and to be fair, the supply is only 20 supply ahead overall for Dog, because he's down a few drones, but obviously he's on the gold. He's got extra bases coming online in general. He's going to be okay no matter what. The supply does not tell the full tale of this one. $19 probes going down, so again, that's where some of this these numbers will even up as well. And Doc does open this series with a would be a ZvZ in the semis, as he would be taking on Solar if he wins this. Obviously, that would give us a ZvT Grand Final as well, so lots of ifs and buts. Obviously, it comes down to Doc winning this game too. On the top left, our Blue Protoss player herO could obviously win game 2 and then just shut that down completely. So we'll see what the dealio will be as this ZvP gets underway once again. Here on the top, left-hand side, Dark on the bottom right. Waiting for again. Let's set up on this one, see how this is all going to go. Pro patrolling, droning moving around. Wonder if hero's going to go back to the more standard Stargate this time around as well, right? Because obviously playing the Disruptor drop is very much so kind of the fancy way of playing. Like, no one requires you to play Disruptor drops, you know. It's not a necessity in this matchup. In fact, it's the oddity in this matchup, so you got to consider that as well. So hatchery comes up, our drone moves across, getting the probe coming in for the moment. Hatchery will go down, so that's going to block the natural for a couple of moments as well. So he does get this hatch block off. That's something that Lemon was able to deny in that previous series. Alright, so it's going to be hero's response. He's going to decide, yep, my plan here is to pull the probies. which is a fine response. Nothing wrong with that. Pulling the probes allows you to just kind of deal with this nice and quickly. Means that you build one zealot and it guarantees the hatchery will go down. Obviously, it is lost probe time, but then you've got to remember as well, it's also a lot of minerals invested early in the game as Dark, which helps you to justify kind of pulling these probes in, right? It makes it that little bit more like, well, you know, it's not like Dark gets to do this freely. He has, again, invested money into making this happen, so like I say, it's never fun to lose mining time yourself, but at least you know that the Zerg has also had some expenditure on this. Drones continue to pull around as herO goes across the map with the attempted cannon rush in response, so he's going to cancel that though, and this is not going to get anywhere. The drone pull from Dark is going to be good to deny it, and well, that means that herO, while getting the defense off, is now going to put himself in a weird position. He just now drops down the Nexus. That Forge has been not very useful at all, really. And yeah, trying to cannon rush back on the other side would have been great if Dark had fallen for it, if Dark had let it happen, but as you can see, Dark did not let it happen. Dark is perhaps just a little bit too good on that front. With a couple of Adepts coming through once again. Zerglings are going to get nibbled and nabbled at. The Adepts still trying to come through as well. The Queen is there. Push these Adepts back a little. And the drones are going to get back to mine. Lings are going to go in and finish off that pylon. At least it looked like they were. Now they do not. And now the Adepts actually go in and they get caught by slow Zerglings. So slow Ling is absolutely able to deliver in the end of that one as well. You just have another Adept coming through. Queen still going after the pylon. Adept shading in towards the main base, trying to find, again, a little bit of something, but okay, not really anything to be had. Stalker on the warp gate, continue to build up. Is going to go down. The Stalker out now as well. Obviously, these Lings will at least commit for the Zealots. Because now they can get onto the pylon. There's just not a lot of DPS here from herO. The Adepts come back, but they're on the wrong side, so they're going to get fully surrounded as well. So these Adepts are going to begin to drop. Also going to be some fairly serious damage going out immediately. And, well, the Stalker going to get back onto this Overlord. That is one hell of a way for things to go over those couple of moments. That's for sure. Overlord gets picked off, the Oracle still coming through, the Zerglings will be setting up on the top side as well, so also just gathering themselves for a couple of moments, figuring this all out. Oracle still trying to just find an opening or so here, trying to find whatever opportunity there may be. Comes back around, Evo Chamber coming up as well. We're going to try and put the Stasis Ward down. The drones will just pull away. Queens do not think they could get rid of that in time. One drone gets caught, so well handled by herO. This damage is going to be kept to a minimum for the moment, then at the very least. Things still gather up. I'm just going to be seeing a couple Queens. The melee upgrade continue to come by for the moment as well. And the Oracle about to finish, plus one attack coming through. Yeah, Adept still gathering up as well. We got ourselves the Twilight Council finally on the way from herO, so starting to see some additional tech. Twilight the Robo, but it's been a little while coming, and so Dark is already well on his way to that +1 melee upgrade. I feel like he's been pretty comfortable with how things have gone thus far. His Oracle's going all the way down to the bottom right side. And just activating, going after a couple of those drones. So again, just a little bit more damage dealt. Rotron coming through. Extra drones on the way. And yeah, land the Rotron. Still a building for the moment as that +1 and Blink. Continue out from herO as well. Bit of everything on the go for now. Well, the Adepts still gather. Trying to see what they can get up to overall. I see the Queens are there, and the Oracle already taking some damage, so again, a few more shots continue to come about. A few more hits coming through. The Oracle continues to get set. And a few Stalkers just hanging about for a couple of moments here, and it's going to be having the Adepts continue to make their way onto some of the creep spread, looking to clean this out a little. Well, with the Infestation pelting away from Dark, you're going to see something a little bit unique here as well that you don't always see, which is the potential to maybe build into a nice, well, I was going to say there's a little bit of potential for this to be Swarm Host. Am I crazy? I mean, is this also just a possibility to go nice fast hive? I think that's probably more likely, right? Super fast hive, you've got the melee upgrade, you can maybe even go super fast auto cavern. I don't know why I was tempted by the thought of Swarm Host. If it was Swarm Host, probably would have come about and set up a little bit sooner than it has been already, so I think that's a more realistic way of looking at this, unfortunately. As much as I would absolutely love it to be some Swarm Host to mix it up, it is indeed just going to be the fast hive, so yeah, that's actually not too crazy. Never mind what I was originally saying. Yeah, just get Adrenal Glands as well, right? Even if you don't go into Ultras, Adrenal Glands is great. The Vipers we saw in the last game, very important. Not so much necessarily right now when there's no kind of real big, beefy tech units on the map, but it is something to, again, keep in consideration that is a little bit of the possibility as our Stalkers will press on in. There is already one Immortal coming up, by the way, as well, so bringing that Immortal through on the way from herO. And this Ravager's still chasing, and another Stasis Ward pops. Again, the Stalker's just going to have to move back for a couple of moments on that one. Let's get corner Stasis again. A few more drones coming about. Just going to be seeing these Lings trying to aim over the right-hand side. The Oracles are going to activate, the Ravagers are going to start getting picked away at here. Little bits of additional damage being done. And +2 melee coming about, the Immortal and the +1 armor coming by. Still got those Oracles overhead, trying to see just what else they can get up to. We have our Roach 3 coming in, the Infestation Pit is getting settled. There's that Prism, getting a little bit of a load up as well. Storms come back across, the Oracles are going to be there. Again, Infestors coming up, the Roach is on the way. Lings coming by with that Adrenal Glands also producing just for the moment. Oracle's still trying to find a little bit more. Needs to be careful. There's a lot of Queens there. It's going to go down. Like I saw that one coming from a mile away almost. That happens. I was going to be seeing again those couple gates coming through. Cannon is coming up. +3 attack is coming by. Again, Bane Nest, Lings, +3 melee, the Adrenal Glands all coming through as well. And just going to have our Stalkers and Immortals pushing their way through into the center. So here it is, time for herO to show what he's been building up. He's obviously been building up a bunch over time here. Time for him to show us what it's all about. You do see a few crows of vials flying up into the sky. Good fungal growth into those vials. That's a huge connection. Another fungal goes down as well. Stalker's getting grabbed once again. Another revelation. The Infestor is going to drop another Fungal. And man, the Fungals combined with the Biles are just delivering at the moment. Dark is going to close this out, I think. You have a few more Lings. Wow, he has the catch on the Immortals on the left side. Those Immortals fully surrounded by Lings. They will go down. Now the rest of this Roach Ravager continues to come through. Wow. Great fight for Dark again. The Fungal Bile combos just hit and hit and hit. They just didn't know how to miss. Quite simply. They just did not know how to miss at all. Again, rest of this Ling Roach still gathering together. You have +3 attack, +2 armor on the way. Disruptor halfway done. The cannons are building. And Nexus and that battery still coming up as well. We have got this army of herO. Coming through a little bit also. Lings and the Ravagers continue to settle together. Just going to be seeing them moving across. The Stalker's going to be there as well. Still got that +3 melee on the way through. Just again, getting a bit of everything on the way. Hydroden also in production here. As you see Dark making some switch ups and changes towards the later stages of this game. So again, getting that all up and running. Ling Ravager still holding out over on the far right hand side. +3 melee, +1 missiles. Again, a bit of everything on the way through. Just for the moment. Dual comes that Disruptor continue up as well. So again, bringing all of that into play. Bringing this all to life. Going to try and join the Protoss army, but the Protoss is going to realize it. There's the Lurker Den. As again, Dark sets up into a real kind of late game army that he's going to pretty much settle down on. I can't imagine he's going to go many more places than with this already. So I just have to imagine that is probably more or less just be his plan and his goal. As we do have the hatchery there getting cancelled as well. And speed coming up, +1 missiles on the way through. Must go Augments is building with the Carapace upgrade as well. So again, a little bit of everything coming in for now. Just having us know the Lingbane Ravager getting there. Aliens connect onto a few of those Zealots, so a few shots coming off there pretty much immediately. And the Spy coming by, just going to be seeing out Lurker Den coming through as well. Going to be having let's go Augments coming in. We actually well guarantee the Prism kill, the Parasitic Bomb, and then it flies in towards the Queens afterwards as well, so it's a little bit of a fun factor just for a moment or two. So Lings continue up, Size Expand still on the way in. Again, those Lings continue to chase down a group of Stalkers here, and the Roach is going to come across as well. Little abducts coming off on these Disruptors. All these Disruptors getting abducted. Oh my goodness, that ain't good. In fact, that's very bad. That's very, very bad. Now that's painful. As you see, herO's army taking some significant hits. 25 new Hydras have to rebuild those, so wait on those as well as additional Banelings, and that's going to give you a chance and a lifeline here as herO to keep on pushing. Dark needs the rest of this army to rebuild before you can still realistically take down this massive current Protoss force. So that is what we're working to, as these Banelings will roll in. Stalkers, Archons, Disruptors taking shots. Hydras continue to come through as well. The Archons taking hits there. The Vipers will come forward. The Stalkers are going to be there. We abduct away. Dark, it looks as though, is going to get the cleanup on this. So it looks as though that cleanup will be taking place here. Oh. Yeah, there's still Stalkers and Immortals left. I mean, a lot of the tech units went down, but I mean, Dark on his way to some Lurkers. I wonder if we can actually handle the Lurkers at this kind of, or with this kind of army composition, you know? That's what I begin to ask myself. There's a few more lings continue to come about here. Then we see now +2 missiles coming through, +1 flyer attack is coming in. Result's going to jump onto this hatchery on the right hand side, so away they go for a couple of moments. Playing as high as the queens, all gathering up together. As the Lurk is still coming through, there's the lings producing by. Just going to be seeing the prism and the cannons and the gateways continue to come up. Let's see how lings and our Lurk is going to be right there for a moment or so. And again, I do think these Lurkers, with the tech units having gone down one time at least, they are going to be your lifeline. They are going to be your chance right now as Dark of continue to hold through. Let's see if that can deliver at all. As just got ourselves the double zealots still whacking away. And the storm comes out, and obviously we still have the Immortals and the Archons. They can play a big role in this. There's one abduct through, and again those abducts and that efficiency from Dark is going to be what helps him out at this stage. Abducted into these Lurkers, just taking some freebies. Yep, those are the things you like to see right now if you are Dark, so it's going to give you, again, big part of the chances here. Army from herO continues to push around. Dark's lost all control of the map, though, so herO takes base 6 and base 7, and that's something that, like I say, Dark just can't really stop him from doing any longer, so that was something that was not really a problem for Dark earlier. Now I think you can definitely look at that as an issue. Lurk is still firing up, those Archons still taking some hits, and so damage is ramping up a little. And we're seeing Dark getting a pretty decent surround actually, so he's really going to be able to work through this, and his Dark just found himself a little bit of magic. It may just be the case. Yeah, that was a much better fight for Dark, who now takes this onslaught across to the other side of the map, and away he goes. A couple of disruptors will fire through, but now those are on cooldown. The Lurk is obviously just going to camp outside of this location. This bottom left base goes down. Well, there goes one of the locations I was just praising herO for being able to get, because Dark had so little control over the game. Well, how quickly the times change. Lurk is still firing through. And again, those zealots continue to gather up. Hatchery will go down. Another disruptor shot fires towards the Lurkers. More disruptor shots fire in. 22 probes have dropped so far. Our disruptor will be picked away at. Our feedback's going on to the Vipers. Archon's taking big hits. You've got to clean up these Lurkers at some stage. I mean, the disruptors will get you there slowly but surely. Is that enough? Is that good enough at all? Well, that will kind of remain to be our question, as another disruptor shot fires through. That Lurker will take a shot. This disruptor shot also looking for a connection right now. And he's going to grab the super battery. Going to be having ourselves a little bit of everything else still gathering together. Lurkers really do so well in these situations. However, we are getting to the point where the Lurkers are being shot down. Again, the big question just being how much have they done and has it been enough? We already see another attack of Dark setting up along the right-hand side, so away that goes. As, yeah, these things are going to show up. Another base going down. How quickly the Protoss Empire has fallen here in this game number 2, because he had so much of the map. But again, you lose one big fight, you just can't stop this push back across the map, and especially a composition like this, where it's super duper important as the Protoss to have the tech units to fight against the Lurkers. Yeah, and that's the issue. If the Lurkers then get across the map in those kind of numbers, well, they are just going to be such a difficulty to clean out. Now, that said, it's not all decided yet. As you can see, Dark is, they're both on very low work accounts. Dark is dropping in army supplies still. He doesn't have enough Lurkers to hold off the final onslaught. herO can still close out this game in his favor. Well, push around. Dark, yeah, desperately just trying to get more Lurkers up, but he may not be able to get there. 27 probes, 42 drones in the game. 6 new lurkers coming up. That bottom left base from herO still mining. Doc missing that one on the denial is a big deal. More Hydras continue to come up. Results continue to come through. So let's charge forward. A couple of Archons going to be there. Spore Crawler gets picked away. At our lurkers are shooting away. Oh, those Zealots on the bottom side taking a lot of damage. Storm. Just going to see the lurkers still taking some hits. We continue to push through. Nope, that's good enough from herO. We're going to game 3 in this series. herO gets it. In the end, you can just see Doc kind of just ran out of units at the... As we have in the top left-hand side, our red Zerg player taking us to game 3. It is going to be Doc. Oh, he didn't take us to game 3. But he's here in game 3. Bottom right is going to be herO, our blue cross. That bottom left base, I think, being his saving grace towards the end of that last one. I don't know how much he needed that base to be mining still. It obviously still helps. It's a wild game, especially because, you know, it started out looking kind of good for herO anyways, and then Doc seemed as though he turned it around. But then herO turned it around himself again. You know, like, that's just the sort of situation we just played out. So, very fun. We have our Gateway and our Proby coming up for a couple of moments here. Well, drones coming out and about. Drone's going to mine away and lead to the left-hand side, so where we go on that one. And again, just going to have our hatch gas and spawn and pool hull coming up, gateway coming in, probe coming on. Looking to see what's happening as we got ourselves 3 probes. Continue to mine away, Nexus will go down. Similarly comes up, Cybercore and the Nexus continue through, the probe still coming in. Hatch gas and pool continuing up as well, so getting that all on the go still. Let's see, our Nexus, Cybercore, Simulator, everything just continuing through for the moment. Wait for that Cybercore to be done and we'll know what kind of tech we're going to be having. As our Overlord still moves out down to the bottom, just to see a little bit more of what's going on. So again, we scout around, we look to see what's taking place. We're going to start getting a couple of these probes still coming up as well, so again, bringing all of that through. We have that warp gate on the way as well. Link speed, hatchery, and a few more lingies continue to come on up. A little depth in the main base, hit from high ground and low ground. Just trying to get away. Again, it is just the oracles, so we're just seeing a much more standard. Obviously, again, get set up. Kind of, we know how this goes typically for Protoss player. There's no shocks or surprises in this one, at the very least, at least for now. Let's see if anything gets added in along the way, perhaps. Stalker. And Oracle will try and get rid of this Overlord. There's a couple Lings that are going to try and deny it, then some more Lings showing up. This Overlord currently living. Stalker... I mean, the Oracle should be able to push the Lings back, and that allows you to get rid of the Overlord. It bought you a couple more seconds, perhaps, but not too much of a major difference in the end. And that Warp Gate is coming through on the Cybercore, so you continue to bring that into play, as the Lings will gather up here. Gonna go back, rejoin with that queen. Double Oracle heads to the upper left-hand side. The Fieldlings are going to come crossing on by. It's going to have our Nexus coming up, our Queen on the way with the Overlord in production as well. Yeah, really at the moment, just a little bit of everything being set up here. We have our Oracle still building, Nexus and a couple of probes on the way by. Overlord's Queen and a few more drones coming up as well. Is that Oracles get pushed back again. Twilight Council and the Forge both continue to build up. Couple more gateways coming through also as we continue to get settled for the moment. Twilight Council and the Forge build. And again, any couple drones you get right now is just going to help you as we continue through this whole setup. I hit you guys with a knowledge bomb here, but damage is damage, and again, anything you can do to slow the Zerg down typically is going to, you know, really, again, just put the breakers on them that little bit even. And those couple oracles peel back away over this other side for a moment or so. He's just gonna get hit by the cheeky little revelation, so I keep an eye on things. Let's have our oracles still illuminating. I mean, we actually have 4 of these oracles, so they're really wanting to keep on doing damage. Anytime you invest into more than, well, every oracle you invest into, we actually have, what, 5 on the map? Every oracle you invest into does slow down the blink. It slows down the +1. It slows down everything else that you can kind of build up in this game, right? So, you know, it does slow you down heavily. There is a reason to be, you know, cautious about what you're building, essentially. Once again, blink and the +1 both continue through. And we just got ourselves a Nexus down on the 6 o'clock position. And that going as well. For now. Stalker's going to come by, a couple creep chambers are being knocked, the Overlord going down as well. Stalker's continue to fight, and again, a couple of those creep chambers just continued to be nipped on away at, so damage being done. And yeah, RoboBay and a second facility coming up, so we see herO already transitioning through to his splash damage, not going to go heavy on the gateway unit, so anything along those lines for this one. The Stalkers and the Oracles move across. Yeah, obviously, with this amount of oracles, the amount you can revelate the creep spread, for example, is really good too. So you're going to really limit Dark and his ability to kind of be out and about on the map. And so it's doing a lot. And now he's going to have even more oracles to set up stasis wards. So that's going to aid these Stalkers in their retreats and their kind of runaways. Like I say, we're not super committed to these Stalkers because this is a scenario where you can see, you know, the second facility in RoboBay coming up really means that we are ready to look into the future anyways. So yeah, that's a little interesting. See the comparisons. Oracles do find their way through for a couple of drones, transferring between bases to try and take advantage of that for a little as we activate through for a queen. Oracles recall away in the upper left. Again, Temple Archives coming up, a couple of Colossi and a few Stalkers still coming through as well. The charge, extended thermal lens, and all the rest in production. Still, like I say, for herO, this is very much so a game which is about the future still, and not as much about the right here and now. And Dark again, very limited creep spread. That's one thing these Oracles have done wonderfully. They really have stopped that creep from developing on the map in any sort of positive manner. So that is a huge, huge factor. As you see, unit's going to knock down this set of rocks over here. It's just going to try and open that up. Hey, thank you, Camex, for the 47-month resub on the Prime. Hope you're doing great, mate. Thanks so much for supporting. Do have our Colossi actually going to be jumped onto Dark with a little bit of creep spread that he does have. Is going to be able to get forward enough to jump on Colossi. Well, that's great. Reset the tech of herO. And herO also continuing into Storm as well. Just losing tech unity. Doesn't really want to be missing out on, in fact. So that's going to suck a little bit. Storm still coming up. Extended Thermal Lances on the way. Plus a 3 attack also coming through. Oh, we do have the Roach Hydra here is going to come across and just again catch a few more of those Stalkers. There's one of those Stasis Wards actually getting a pretty big connection though, so herO is benefiting from at the very least having those Oracles and having built up a few of them. So, yeah, like I say, benefits there for sure. It's actually going to pop back out of this Stasis, and as they pop out of the Stasis Ward, it's going to grab a couple more of the Stalkers and everything that are out and about on the map here, so just finding again extra little bits of bonus damage essentially. Feels like at the moment. The more of that we find, the happier we're going to end up being. Again, Ling and Roach Hydra all still moving down to the other side of the map, so he gets set up right now. While Storm's going down, the Ling's getting caught in the Stasis Ward. We are going to be seeing the Lurkers burrowed up. Vipers going to try and see what they can do. Going to abduct 1, 2, 3 Immortals in. So 3 Immortals just get abducted again. Those couple of Lurkers are going to remain there right now. Just chilling for the moment. And these Lings still jumping onto those Stalkers as well. So again, trying to find something out of those for a little while. Towards the tail end of this. Other couple of units continue to come about, and just going to be seeing the High Templars continue to sit tight as they do knock down a base. As our counterattack is also going to succeed here. A little bit more damage done. Love the usage of the Nidus, move units around, of course. Very fun as well. Stalkers continue to shoot, Cannon taking some damage. Stalkers taking some extra shots also. And I'm just going to be seeing this push of Dark. The Lurk is going to be something you can fight against. Basically, the feedbacks on the Vipers pretty quickly here. Denying the majority of that, so not much to be gained in that regard. As you see these Hydras still pushing through this base. A herO looks like it's in trouble. As we do have the Nidus coming up for a retreat pathway. I think these Lurkers might not be enough. You can see the Immortals starting to chunk through them. As Dark is still trying to reinforce his position. Couple Lurkers left. The Hydra's still holding on against the Stalkers. I think the army supply is telling us the tale we need to know right now, which is that Dark is significantly ahead. And yeah, he's knocking down those tech units. He might have just run dry on Lurkers, but there's not going to be much to stop him from just rebuilding more of those if needed. So that is going to be a big deal as these Hydras continue to go through, take out that Nexus. Very well handled. I'm just going to keep on pushing at this point. I think we can see what's going on. As we're just going to be seeing Dark really looking to close this one out. Abduct, abduct. Vipers have the energy. There's no High Templars to feed back in sight. I just continue to push. This base is going to go down. Dark will never end with this, and he's going to set us up into the ZvZ. As you see the Immortal going down, the probe's still taking a lot of damage. GG's. Dark is going to have ourselves a ZvZ semi-final against